ya ho-hos, tucking them pinkies. Them shit's a no-no. The first Florida man was Fernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, I'm a bagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, first.
Hello and welcome everyone to we lost the guest that quickly. He'll be back, I'm sure. Welcome to my stream. We're talking about football stuff today, sports ball stuff, if you can believe it. I don't know where Steven went, but I have a guest, Steven Ignoramus, as he goes. I don't even know if he goes by that anymore. Ignoramus Jr. He's got a lot of names. His name is Stephen Baker. He's the musician that you heard doing my opening song and my closing songs every time. I'm not sure what to do now that he's gone. This is embarrassing. Come back, Stephen. There he is.
Hey, sorry.
I forgot you can click buttons too because we share an account.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm not even late. I was here and then I got booted. But
I was telling everybody that I didn't know what name you went by now, but I called you Stephen Ignoramus because that's who you were when I met you.
Yeah, you can call me ignorant.
Yes.
That's the name of my channel.
Yes.
What's up?
So he's here to talk about some football stuff because he was supposed to be sitting right next to me right now, but he is not here. As you can tell, he is not here.
Mm-hmm.
He was here the last 2 days though.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to just...
You're the expert.
Did you want to, yeah. of football stuff? No. Of the murder stuff. Well, we were talking before we went live and I didn't realize how many, like, obviously, you know, of like O.J. Simpson and Aaron Hernandez, like the big ones. There's so many. Like, I was going to cover like funny stories about drunk driving, which I have a couple of those pulled up. We might not even get to them though. You know, because there's a lot of arrests in the NFL. And let's start the show off by asking you, do you think that traumatic brain injuries or CTE has anything to do with the amount of criminals in the NFL?
No, zero.
You don't?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, I think that certain things contribute to both. It's like incidental, like things that predate the crime and the head injuries contribute way more to the crime than the head injuries. I mean, a lot of these guys committed those crimes before they were ever hit for the first time.
True,
so
but
not one bit. Like not one bit. Like okay. Look, when you this happens to me a lot when I'm doing a show and stuff. When you're in casual conversation, if someone says not one bit, if they disagree with you, all of a sudden you're like taking a math test, and it is on you to prove that it's less than 1 sec. One sec. That's less. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but what I'm saying when I say not one bit, that when you have a complex issue, if it's not in the top 10, you're allowed to be like, nah, that's not the reason, even if it contribute a little. But I think it's like upbringing, race, literally just like testosterone. I mean, these would be killers in any other era.
Yeah.
And so they are aggressive. And what happens when you're aggressive? You get hit.
Well, I think
sports
attract violent people, and football's one of them. So maybe they're pre-violent, but a lot of people, when they start making the bank, they don't want to randomly do drive-by shootings anymore. You know, like I think the NFL actually helps a lot of these people who are in situations where they might turn into criminals, right?
Yeah, you would have to ask yourself, like, there's really no way of knowing what would have been. That's kind of the point. Like, you would have to see if the player was more violent because they're in the NFL. You would need like a God-powered time machine. So,
well, we do have scientists that study some of their brains, but other than that,
but all these scientists all say that it's like the CTE when this dude was violent 20 years before.
True.
That's the point I'm making about this.
That's true.
They're all trying to blame it on the CTE when this dude has been violent since he was like 8. So
I've read the FBI crime statistics, and I also know the makeup of the NFL. So I'm not saying that it's. I'm totally saying
it's race. Like I'm saying that like it's not them being violent for 20 years, then getting hit a bunch, and then they're blaming it on that. Even race doesn't tell the issue. It's like, I think most of it is just like, these are violent men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
like yeah,
and
that's at the end of the day.
they were rewarded with big paychecks for being violent.
Have you ever
So,
seen this guy, Jameis Winston? Do you know who this guy is?
no.
So he's I think a former quarterback, and he has he's got a lot of charisma, and he makes these funny videos where he goes in public and acts funny. He's like very funny guy, and people say that he has like the nice kind of CTE. Like he got the friendly
Got the
kind.
good kind.
Yeah, he goes fishing, catches a fish, interviews the fish, like puts the microphone up to him, like rides a bike through town, says hi to everybody.
It's like getting the good kind of autism.
Yeah.
You got the good kind of CTE.
I really wish I would have gotten that. I just become
Yeah.
a jerk.
Yeah, I agree. Uncomfortable silence. Let's get to the first story that I have pulled up. I'm going to do a couple, and then you said you had some stuff pulled up.
No, I have some right now. What up, live chat? What's that?
Hi, live chat. Thank you, Generally Specific, for rating the chat. I see his whole audience dumped in here, and we lost like 20 of them already. Sorry, we're not as interesting as him. Here's
Right now, though, WBTV News has learned a former NFL player who killed 6 people in York County back in April suffered from a brain disease he may have developed after years of playing football. Good evening and welcome. I'm Molly Grantham.
And I'm Jamie Bull. Glad to have you with us tonight. Today's update comes after months of investigating. WBTV News has closely followed every chapter in this story. Philip Adams played in 78 NFL games for 6 teams over 6 seasons, taking hit after hit as a defensive player. Adams killed 6 people during a shooting back on April 7th. This is a collage of family photos provided to WBTV. Among the victims, York County Dr. Robert Leslie, his wife Barbara, their 2 grandchildren, and 2 HVAC employees, James Lewis and Robert Shook, who just happened to be there at the home. Adams later took his own life, and today medical experts confirmed Adams suffered unusually severe brain damage, known as CTE, when he shot all of those people. WBTV's Morgan Newell joins us live tonight with more on this. And Morgan, a doctor from Boston University says Adams' life and career playing football was a direct link to this brain disease, CTE.
Jamie, she used the word definitively, saying that is exactly what was causing that CTE.
Can you pause
now,
it for a
Philip
second?
Adams' family.
yes, I can.
The problem I have with it is like, I don't know. I don't want to get in a debate about it or whatever. I'm just saying, trying to tell you what I think about it.
Yeah, that's what
I think if
you're
you
here for.
if you murder someone, you should get the death penalty, regardless of the circumstances, other than like and the circumstances really can't have anything to do with you. They can have nothing to do with your innards. Like they can't be your mental state, your brain.
Yeah.
There can be extenuating circumstances like I don't know.
Yeah.
You think you're defending your life, but you're not, or like things on the outside. But other than that, I don't care if you're mentally ill or if you have CTE, you need to be put to death. And that's what they're trying to do with this. And that's my problem with it. They're definitively he had brain. It's like, okay, let's say he does, don't care. So to me, that part of the conversation is like, I'm not a doctor, but I've read the Bible and I can show you in the Bible where my stance for the death penalty is.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, okay, so if he had CTE, okay, he still has to be put to death. So, okay. Or if he's retarded or if he's whatever, I don't care. Like, if you shed man's blood, your blood must be shed. That's where I come at it from, all this stuff. So
yeah. And I was back and forth on the death penalty for a long time, as you know, because we've had conversations about it at 2 a.m. in my kitchen. But I think I'm squarely on the side of pro death penalty at this point in my life. That may change. So
yeah, it's just not Christian to be opposed to the death penalty.
yeah. Yeah. The more I read the book over there, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, the thing that I have a problem with, like you said, is it's just like any of these people who are anti-death penalty, they will say whatever argument will get somebody, and it makes it so you can't believe anything they say at some point. You know what I mean? The Innocence Project people and that sort of stuff, they are trying to get ruthless killers out of prison a lot of the times. Not all the time. Not all, but most.
Yeah.
Right?
He said he
it
tried.
kind of is all, by the way. Like if there was a person that they could get out, they would get them out. That is all. Like, so
Well,
that,
they have gotten some out, and
Yeah.
some that I agree with that person was innocent. But there's so many that they're trying to get out. I've covered some of them on my channel where they're trying to get these people out of prison or spare them the death penalty. And it's not that they think that they're innocent; it's that they think they have a case to spare somebody's life.
Yep. You're on it.
Multiple times with the NFL to try to get some medical help, but they say he was denied. Now, we reached out to the NFL for comment on that, but they did not respond back. But his doctor, who studied his brain, says this is a much bigger problem than just Philip Adams.
I can say definitively that his 20 years of football gave rise to CTE.
Doctors confirming Tuesday what Philip Adams' family already
What kind of doctor was it? I'm not going to say.
My point from earlier can be summed up in, but what gave rise to the football? They say the football gave rise to the CTE, but what gave rise to the football? That's the only question. I'm not, and it's not just one thing. I'm like, honestly, I'm not making it racial. Like, I'm serious. Like, I believe in genetics, but there's so many things that they just stop. They all these people, they draw their line at like one historical moment, and they never go before it. So it's like, yeah, I definitely think it led to CTE, but what did, that's my point.
They're just talking so loosely. Notice how the people who are on the side of this was CT or whatever are not bringing up this family was just at their house having a day. There was 2 HVAC guys just minding their business, fixing an air conditioning unit, and he slaughtered 6 people. They're not going to bring up those people at all.
There's a Richard Pryor. So Richard Pryor, the comedian, went and did a movie in the 80s in a prison, and they filmed it in an actual prison. And he tells this story about how he met all these murderers and like hung out with them for a summer when they filmed. And he says that he asked one of the murderers, like, why did you kill everyone in the family? And the guy goes, they was home.
Wow.
That's like what this guy
That's exactly what this is.
They was home.
All right, let's see what this doctor has to say. I'm not going to say what kind of doctor it is.
To hear how severe his condition.
Hold on, we got to pause. I can't see the red super chat come up and not pause the screen, obviously. Thank you so much, Waffle Salter, for the $50 super chat. I'm not much into sports ball, but it popped in to see and treat the pups and say hello. And hello to call me ignorant too.
Yo,
we're getting the good treats out for $50. Thank you so much, Waffle Salter.
For every subscriber I get, I'll give a milk bone to the dog.
Yeah, we'll do that too. Every subscriber that calls.
I'm at 783 right now.
It is in the description, and I'll put it in the chat here in just a second.
I'm also Googling Costco-sized milk bones.
Actually, you can throw it in the chat because you're on the same thing I am. Put your channel link.
That's crazy. Chief has heard in the chat that Richard Pryor bit before. I'm seeing they was home.
Thank you, Awful Salter. The dogs super appreciate it. They were almost asleep. We've been here for 15 minutes and we didn't have to wake them up once.
Thank you for subbing, people. I will share the link.
I'm worried about my audience subbing to you. I'm just saying.
I just got 2 subs.
He's very entertaining.
But how many milk bones are in a bag?
I have this many left in the house right now. So
I mean, like what is the quantity when that thing is full?
25 ounces. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea how many.
All right, we'll sub up and I'll buy one of them. Keep upping the ante. Just keep throwing down. Guys, I'm depressed because Detroit's not in the Super Bowl. So, I must rebel.
I think it's.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
It's interesting how, well, I mean, you guys, can I do the Ray Lewis one?
Yeah.
Well, if you guys know Ray Lewis, and we'll circle back to Ray Lewis in a second, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes on Ray Lewis. Then we actually have to talk about a crime that the founding of the NFL was based around it. But Ray Lewis was in a bar fight. He's an old star linebacker, was in a bar fight. It's like 3 of his friends, and a guy got stabbed and killed.
Ooh.
And Ray Lewis and those guys got charged with murder, all 3 of them. And Ray Lewis, after testifying against the 2 friends in court, got exonerated. I think he got guilty of some misdemeanor assault or something like that. So he testified against his friends, right?
Yeah.
So I did some research into this, and
Okay.
everyone knows what a football looks like, right?
Probably. I don't know. We have some Canadians here. Who
It
knows?
didn't always look like that. Okay, before the football was smooth, completely smooth. They get to throw it around and stuff like that, and the football told on his friends as well. And then after that, they put a little stitch over it because that's what snitches get. Okay.
That was so bad. Did you see how interested I was? You had me. You had me up until the end. Wow.
Victory. I won the Super Bowl. The football told on his friends. Okay. Anyway.
Let's finish this one out.
No.
There's like a couple minutes left.
No,
Spokesperson.
we're not watching the rest of this.
Oh, well, let me get to the murder
For
part.
the irrational behaviors pertaining to this tragedy.
The Leslie family hoping more
Want people to understand.
in Quantico as
The
they
whole
are
rest of
Doctors
this
confirm
about
Adams suffered stage 2
doctors?
CTE.
Yeah, you're right. Forget this one.
Trust me, I got internet ESP.
Now, you and I have talked about O.J. Simpson before,
Mm-hmm.
and you have some very interesting theories.
I don't know anymore, man. I don't even know if the Earth is flat anymore.
you don't know if the Earth is flat anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to have so many of these, like, I just don't know. I for a time I thought that his son did it, and that he was trying to protect his son. But
Remember, we had a huge conversation about it at one point because that's one of my litmus tests when
yeah,
I
you're
meet people.
emotionally invested in the OJ thing. I'm not.
For real, like
Yeah,
that's
I'm not. That's
when I
why-
meet somebody, if they think OJ is innocent,
Yeah,
then I can't deal with you. We almost cut ties right there.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a personal issue that you got to work out. Like, I'm just not emotionally invested in any of this personnel thing, because it's showed to us by the media, and
Yeah.
I know about the media. So, like, yeah, I don't. Who knows, man? Who's this guy on the left?
I don't know. This is a clip where they break into what's his name show to show a portion of the chase, and it's just the very last like 5 minutes of the Bronco chase that I have queued up.
I'm trying to make up like a black sounding name for Christopher Lloyd. You know, the actor. He looks like Black Christopher Lloyd.
Black Christopher.
Just play the clip.
Probably just Christopher with a K, really.
Criss Cross Lloyd.
Chris-
All right, have a good one, guys. See you.
I'm going to have to interrupt this call. I understand we're going to go to a
Just
live.
before we play this, just in case anybody's been living under a rock since 1995, O.J. Simpson was allegedly, I have to say, apparently, killed his ex-wife and a dude that worked at the restaurant that was bringing back her mother's glasses to the house that they had left at the restaurant earlier. So that was Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson were slaughtered in Los Angeles.
Allegedly.
Well, no, they were slaughtered.
But also really.
Yeah, they were actually slaughtered. And I'm such a nerd that I used to have to go to LA for work. And I spent a whole afternoon one time just walking like the crime scenes, like in Brentwood and in front of the condo. And so, yeah, I went to the restaurant that used to be the Mezzaluna restaurant, and it's a coffee shop now. And I got some coffee.
Wow.
I have been a nerd a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just proof that like murder is clearly not the worst thing in our society. This dude rehabilitated himself and also got caught with other crimes later.
Yeah.
And then blew up on Twitter just playing golf, talking at the camera. Like he totally rehabilitated his image.
And he wasn't even blowing up for like crazy reasons like Kanye. He was like he actually like cultivated an audience, and people wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd also say like, hey Twitter, how you doing? Yo, I mean, another thing about OJ that was funny is like he was like the ultimate coon according to the black community. Like, he was the one that just went full white man, and that was always a source of
people would call him a sellout, but you know what? If I had the opportunity to sell out, I probably would too. So
yeah,
can't really blame him. You know.
picture in
Let's
Los
see this Bronco
Angeles.
chase, though, huh?
Is that correct? Okay, this is Interstate 5, and this is courtesy of KCALR, one of our LA affiliates. Police believe that...
This was a crazy day. Do you
that
remember
O.J.
watching
Simpson
this
is in that-
live?
Hell no, I was like 4.
Oh, I forgot. You're young. I remember watching. I worked at I was in high school, and I worked at a pizza shop, and we had a TV in there, and I was at work and was watching this Bronco chase live on TV. And at the time, I didn't know who O.J. Simpson was. I didn't really care.
It was
You
him
know?
and his brother in the car. Was his brother? Or,
No, it's AC
on the
Cowling,
phone.
which was a friend of his.
but he was on the phone with someone too.
They were on the phone with the police.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And allegedly, AC was driving. This is not OJ's Bronco. He bought his friend the exact same Bronco that he had. So they had matching cars.
Yeah.
One of them, by the way, is in Tennessee at that Alcatraz Museum. I've seen it up there. Yeah.
So did you ever see the Cuba Gooding Jr. OJ show?
Yes.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. There was a documentary that came out around the same time as that one where they interviewed the jury for the OJ case. And these women straight up said, yeah, we thought he was guilty, but we declared him not guilty because of Rodney King.
Yeah.
Like they straight up admitted it. Crazy.
Yeah. But they got in trouble though, right?
No, not at all. It's called jury nullification. You can do
I
that.
will say a fun fact about the OJ trial. It's that it was alleged that this was said, but confirmed that it wasn't said. But the media got a hold of it, so it stood as truth enough for it to become a cultural reference.
Yeah.
They people thought that the OJ's black attorney turned to Christopher Darden, the black prosecutor, when he tried to get him on something and like muttered "nigga, please" under his breath.
Did that not really happen?
It didn't really happen. No.
Until today, thought that really happened.
That was like the first. I mean, it had been in a couple rap songs, but that was like after that, hundreds of rap songs
Yeah.
started saying that, and I still say it to this day. Like I mean, I actually do to my friends and stuff. But yeah, apparently that Johnny Cochran never said that.
Maybe I should stop telling people that.
Yeah, apparently he never said it.
Yeah, Christopher Darden really messed up the case when he tried to do the glove thing. This is the case where if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, and the defense knew that the prosecution was going to have OJ try on these gloves, which, by the way, were covered in blood and had dried. They were leather gloves that got wet with blood and dried, and he had to have like a surgical glove on underneath it. And they knew that they were going to do that, so OJ stopped taking his arthritis medicine like a week before, so his hands would be swollen, so the glove would have never fit.
It's so funny that only in America does like slam poetry convince someone that a murderer didn't kill someone. Like, hey, yo, check this out. Yo, I see this evidence, but if the glove fit, you must acquit. I was like, really? Oh, why didn't I think of that? They're like trying to like drop a tweet and it works.
It does. It does.
It's not that he drops a tweet and it doesn't work. He's like, he just like hits a rhyme and everyone's like,
yep. So that was his son that ran out to the car right there. And OJ is begging them to let him call his mom. He'll go to the police station to talk to them, but after going on a 45-minute slow speed chase, by the way, anybody else probably would have been shot by the LAPD by now, but it's OJ Simpson, so that didn't happen. And he wanted to call, and they let him go into the house and call his mom before they took him into the station on a double murder. Insane.
what? Let me read this. Mr. Zed says, Katie and myself happened to work at pizza places at the same time and watch the OJ chase while flipping pizzas thousands of miles apart. That's crazy. Dude.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Whose pizza was better, by the way? Like, what were the styles of pizza?
Well, he lived in Phoenix and I lived in Chicago. So what do you think?
I think that there's not a Phoenix style pizza, so they would have to do some other style of pizza. That's really
Yeah,
good.
I don't know what kind of style of pizza he had, but I had the Chicago. The pizza place that I worked at had the Chicago thin crust. Pizza,
Regional
which is
stuff
different.
is so ass. Like all of a sudden when regional stuff happens, like someone would be like, "You're from Detroit. You don't understand New York pizza." I'm like, okay, but we live in like a capitalist empire, and I have the ability to like receive these things from a different anyway.
You recently, not this last time you were here, maybe 2 times ago, were
Yes.
telling me about some pizza place down by Micro Center that had Detroit style pizza that we
Yo.
just had to get. Like, what are you talking
there's
about?
3 of them out here. Yo, Jets Pizza is outstanding, dude.
Next time I go to Micro Center, I'll pick up a Jets pizza and I'll let you know how ass it is.
Yeah, I don't care about the GDP shrinking as long as Jets keeps expanding, you know. Yo, this is a pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys know about this other crime, because people have committed crimes, right? These players and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But did you guys know that the mascot for the Miami Dolphins was stolen in
Oh no.
in the mid-80s? So I can't even do it with this straight face. Dang it. I was like, I look at this crazy crime, and there was a dolphin that was stolen, and they hired this like loser veterinarian guy, like
I
detective,
hear he does art now.
to track down and I guess then there was this old estranged kicker that missed a kick and became a tranny and kidnapped the dolphin. Widely documented in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Widely documented. So you said you had stuff to say about Aaron Hernandez. That's the next one I have queued
Yeah,
up.
play this one first, because I mean, to me, this is the most interesting one ever. More interesting than OJ.
This is one of those where he was a criminal and he decided, I think he made a conscious decision to keep being a criminal. You know?
New evidence in the murder trial of former New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez. How do shell casings and bubble gum allegedly link the former NFL star to the execution-style killing of his friend? Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne.
Key new evidence from prosecutors in the Aaron Hernandez trial. Blurry surveillance footage at a gas station outside of Boston, taken just 90 minutes before prosecutors say he committed murder. The video, which shows Hernandez acting erratically, even seeming to dance at the gas station, where he buys blue bubble gum, which investigators say could link him to the crime. It's just the latest in a mounting series of caught-on-camera moments. The prosecution has shown jurors to build a timeline in their murder case against the former NFL star.
I think he was trying to do the Vanilla Ice dance. I think that's what that was.
Rate that video. Put that video up there. Just kidding.
No.
I'm learning the bill.
Star.
Ice dance.
We're both going to learn the Vanilla Ice dance, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to do it at Patriot Jam.
Aaron Hernandez.
He orchestrated, participated in the killing, covered up the killing.
Earlier this month, Hernandez's former teammates celebrating football's greatest victory, the New England Patriots Super Bowl win.
The New England Patriots are the NFL champions.
Meanwhile, a stone-faced 25-year-old Hernandez was entering the first month of his murder trial. Memories of his $40 million NFL contract gone. The former tight end who pleaded not guilty was 23 at the time of the murder, a rising star in the football world.
Second and a deuce.
Even scoring a touchdown in Super Bowl 46.
Touchdown, Hernandez.
Prosecutors say it all unraveled in June 2013 when police say Hernandez and 2 others picked up a friend, 27-year-old Odin Lloyd, a journeyman semi-pro football player, and murdered him. The night began in Providence, Rhode Island, where Hernandez and a group of friends ran up a $243 bar tab at the South Street Cafe.
That Hennessy was on that receipt. just noticed it.
Dang, I forgot how young
The bar manager.
Yeah.
That is crazy. 23.
And the other thing, I don't know if they're going to show it in this short segment or whatever, but he had video surveillance cameras inside of his house, which totally hung him out to dry. Like, why would you put the cameras in your house when you're committing a murder? That's crazy. He didn't turn them off till he got back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of conspiracies about this one. Yeah, there's some weird stuff, always has been, about this one, that people are saying that he was paid, or that like they had dirt on him because this guy went gay in prison, and people were pretty sure he was gay before. They don't think he committed suicide. He was connected with, like, I don't know. I saw some stuff when this happened where like, people, like, he didn't need the money, but this was like basically blackmail. Like they had some shit on him, so they had
yeah, but what about the other murders in Florida then? And he shot his friend in the face before this shoot. Like, he killed 2 other people, shot 4 more on top of that. One of being his friend that was with him for the first, like, it wasn't like a drive-by, but it was 2 cars.
Hey, you're the one with the True Crime Channel.
For testifying in court today, she saw Hernandez smoking marijuana.
Oh, no,
Mr.
not
Hernandez
marijuana.
and the other gentleman were smoking on the corner of the street.
Okay. When you say they were smoking, what were they smoking?
I believe marijuana, because that's where the smell was coming from.
He paid the tab and left without incident. Authorities say he stopped for gas shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning with a man resembling his co-defendant Carlos Ortiz, and can be seen raising his arms and seeming to dance as he walks toward the store. Inside, he buys cigars and blue Bubblicious bubblegum, the same type of bubblegum authorities later found attached to a .45 caliber shell casing.
Here's what's important about that. Remember, he bought blue Bubblicious gum. There's a wad of blue Bubblicious gum stuck on a .45 caliber shell casing.
Outside, the man resembling Ortiz appears to be wearing a white towel around his neck. Authorities say a white towel was also discovered at the murder scene. After this, prosecutors say Hernandez and 2 accomplices drove to pick up Odin Lloyd, then drove him to an industrial park where they shot him to death. When prosecutors showed jurors pictures of the victim's body, found just half a mile from Hernandez's home, the dead man's mother rushed from the courtroom in tears. Police have never found the murder weapon or the white clothes Hernandez was wearing that night.
Well, one thing I know is missing. That's Hernandez's clothing. Is that in the black bag? There's a lot of speculation that the murder weapon may have been in the black bag.
That black bag also captured on surveillance video at Hernandez's home. His fiancée, Cheyenne Jenkins, 2 days after the murder, seen carrying a heavy-looking black trash bag from their shared home.
Why is she taking trash bags of...
Is a woman that will hide evidence.
Yeah, behind every great man is a just ... just
potential evidence out of the home.
For Hernandez, it's been a steep fall from athletic stardom and riches.
You're thinking he's headed for Pro Bowls and more Super Bowls. And instead, of course, now we look and see, you know, he could be very easily headed for a life in jail.
Aaron Hernandez grew up in a rough Connecticut neighborhood and lost his father at a young age.
And that was very, very tough for him at the age that it happened, and had a little bit of a tough upbringing, both because of that and even before that.
But Hernandez found refuge in his great talent.
Football was something that he really loved. I think it gave him a little bit of a reprieve from maybe some of the other everyday challenges of life. When he was around football, he could forget.
Even in high school, his talent obvious. He started getting calls from colleges, eventually recruited by the University of Florida. A bright future was his for the taking, if he could keep on the straight and narrow. But before he even played a game at Florida, he nearly lost it all.
Well, there are reports that Aaron Hernandez had an altercation at a bar called The Swamp.
A police report from that 2007 incident surfaced recently. Hernandez had gotten into a fight with the bar manager over 2 drinks that Hernandez maintained he had not ordered. And guess who tried to come to his aid? According to the police report, squeaky clean college teammate Tim Tebow, offering to pay for the drinks. Instead, according to authorities, Hernandez punched the manager so hard his eardrum burst.
He could have been kicked off the team, and he wasn't.
Hernandez was never charged in that alleged assault, and his career quickly took off. By the time he reached the NFL, even he insisted he had grown up.
You get changed by the Patriot way, and now that I'm a Patriot, I have to start living like one and making the right decisions for them.
But only 3 years into his run to the New England Patriots, one tragic night changed everything.
It's just a stunning fall from grace, all self-induced. But one of those stories that for every one of those rags to riches kind of stories, a kid makes good.
Sorry, I said nope. It was the CTE. She was like all self-induced. Nope. You know, he hit hard. That's what I'm saying about it. It's like
Not according to the first story. But like I was saying, in this case, he was a criminal way before, like as a kid. So it's just like a criminal mindset.
Before you.
And then you're making $40 million a year and you can't not murder people. How hard is it to not murder people? I'm pretty sure everybody here.
I struggle with it often.
Yeah.
But I win the battle though.
Yeah. As long as you win the battle.
We shall overcome one day.
This is the opposite. This is the complete opposite.
Now, as prosecutors pile up evidence, his fate remains uncertain.
Many people have asked me, do I think the state's got a lock on the case? Believe it or not, no, I don't. I believe that there is a mountain of evidence showing that Hernandez murdered Lloyd. Here's the problem. He's a sports superstar. Do I have to say O.J. Simpson? There's never a lock on any case, ever.
For Nightline, I'm Ron.
I hate
Only
Nancy
on the
Grace.
jail cell.
I hate Nancy Grace with all of my heart, by the way.
She is giving Chucky vibes. It's
Yeah.
giving Chucky post Chucky goes to the salon.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Chucky gets a hairdo.
So you're saying that people, like, there's conspiracies that he did not take his own life in prison.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay. So a couple things that were, I'm sure people will correct me if they're not confirmed, but I know that he had like a sweetheart. He like went gay like almost immediately after joining the thing. There was some circumstances that, you know, that it seemed like he didn't kill himself. And might be wrong. Sorry, some guy in the chat says that he was maybe gang affiliated in Florida. But yeah, I don't remember I did research on the official story. It did ring a bell at the time that he was definitely gay. I think his boyfriend came out and
I remember seeing something about that too. Like not recently, but when I was looking into it a while back, I remember that.
Don Bradley goes, he was all of the homo.
All of it.
Yeah. Aaron Hernandez boyfriend interview. Yeah. He gay.
So
anyway.
he ended up killing himself in prison. Allegedly.
But also really.
Did you want to do some of the ones that you brought?
Sure. Yeah, Ray Rice.
I will unshare my screen if you want to bring stuff up.
Well, let me. I actually just instead of that, I just want to go through these weird ones.
Okay. Are they all jokes or just the first?
No. I'm done with the joke.
Okay.
No. I only had two. I didn't want to do three. But yeah, there's the Ace Ventura and the Snitches Get Stitches. So, have you guys heard of Yahweh Ben Yahweh? So you know, I only got about half an hour or whatever. So I think we're going to go in reverse order instead of going like 10 to 1. We're going to start with number 1. Robert Rozier. After his playing career, Rozier did time for a series of petty crimes. After his release, he found Yahweh Ben Yahweh's Temple of Love.
Sounds legit.
He rethought it and made it into an R&B band. From there, Rozier went on to join Yahweh's secret group, the Brotherhood. To gain entrance into this group, applicants had to murder a white devil and return with a body part to prove it. And Rozier admitted to killing not one, but 7 white devils.
So was this group like kind of in line with like the Black Hebrew Israelites, like same sort of mindset?
I have no idea. I mean, I thought it said he founded them, but I think he says he found them.
Yeah. There was another Jude that well, the thing about this one is they pretty much got away with murder. Like he only served 15 years for like conspiracy or something, if I remember correctly. Or I might be getting the stories mixed up.
Yeah, we'll look at it in a second.
Okay.
Sometimes it's more fun not to know, you know? Okay. So here you have Robert in his high school yearbook photo. With the background. I mean, I've never seen like an adult, like, or I guess maybe that's a mugshot. Tommy Kane is currently serving time after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. The charges stem from the murder of his wife. Thoughts?
I mean, what was she wearing?
Take my wife, please. So she wanted a divorce. They got in an argument. He grabbed her by the hair dragged her into the kitchen, and slammed her head against the floor and stabbed her in the neck.
She probably didn't do the dishes that night, right?
I don't know. I wonder how much money these guys got. Like, I don't know how famous because not all pros are really.
Yeah, I actually
from the
worked with
80s.
somebody at Walmart that used to play for the Lions. I don't remember his name though,
Yeah?
but he was like a bench warmer person. He wasn't like a star, you know.
Yeah.
He was working at Walmart, so
Okay.
you know.
So ladies, would you like me more if I struck a pose in this manner? Anyway,
New profile picture.
yeah, new profile. This is the funny one. Leonard Little. Okay. Oh, he killed a family. That's the one that's messed up. So he was driving drunk, ran a red light, crashed into a mother. He was arrested for a DUI 2 years after.
Yeah.
After he killed his family. See, that is one. The problem with like sin and crime is it's not exactly logical.
Yeah.
So while funny, asking the question of is it so hard to not murder people? It's actually the answer is no. Like for a person with those type of, but it seems to me that if you have a job, I don't know, you're making more than 200,000 a year, which I think all NFL, you can always afford a cab.
Yeah. Well, and I have one that I have queued up that it wasn't a drunk driver, but he ended up killing somebody because he was racing. He was like racing his sports car and ended up killing somebody.
Yeah, see, I get that, but like drunk driving,
You know,
like
just don't drive drunk. Just don't
it came
street
out
race.
so bad. Like I understand. I understand the murder. Here's this other.
Is that Zena?
I want to show you. I said there was wasn't another joke, but they did make a nice
Zena. Is
Yo,
Zena a criminal?
unironically, I kind of feel like that might be a decent punishment.
Just get chased down by pit bulls.
Vic versus 11 pit bull, and he has to score. Like he has to play football against pit bulls.
Like it's crazy that dog looks exactly like Zena.
So when Zena gets bare all teeth, she looks like that.
Yes.
I'm never coming over again.
Yes.
I don't.
And she's not as rapey when she gets like that either. So
I did fall in love with my rapist. I did take on the language of my oppressor. Have your people seen that video?
Probably not. I don't have it. I mean, I don't even know where I would find it. It was on your channel.
I know it is. But for those of you that don't know the lore, I was playing a song to Zena once, and I said the F word, and I have a rule: if I say the F word on air, I have to do 10 push-ups. So we were on air. I said the F word. I did 10 push-ups, and by like number 2, I was being full on aggressively humped by Zena.
Yeah.
Taking what's hers in this world.
And I was trying so hard. Like it was in the middle of a live stream. We were live streaming on your channel. And I was trying so hard to hold the camera still. And I was laughing. So the whole thing is like shaking because I was laughing very hard.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop sharing here. There's some white boys out here. You want a white boy?
Sure. Have we had any? I don't think we've had any white ones.
Barrett Robbins.
Okay.
White man missed the Super Bowl due to a bipolar fueled alcohol binge to Mexico the night before the game. He was charged with 3 counts of attempted felony murder after police were called due to his trespassing. He was found crouching in a woman's bathroom.
Oh.
He charged at the officers. They shot him twice with one bullet piercing his heart. And he lived. Like
he lived?
There's
How does that happen?
He's a lineman. He's like super fat, I guess. But there's a photo of him here in handcuffs. I mean, he lived.
But
like,
it pierced his heart.
Yeah.
I thought like if you get somebody in the heart, like they always tell me to aim center mass if somebody breaks in here, right? I thought if you get them in the heart, then that's it. It's all over. It's the off button, you know? I guess not. I guess that's why you keep shooting until the magazine is empty.
Do you? Isn't that illegal to say that?
illegal to say that? No, we're in America.
I think it's like you have to say like until the threat is neutralized.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant for sure. That other thing was alleged, in my opinion.
7B, thou must mag dump and then go over and teabag all enemies. Thou must.
I forgot about that teabagging thing. Oh man. Oh wow. I wish people knew the lore. If we were in front of your audience, they would know. Where is well, my Birong's here. That's your audience, right? Him and Life to the Max and me.
I have no audience.
Oh man.
They're all drunk driving stuff though. Yeah, Sebastian Janikowski, good call on some guy in the chat.
Is that the white guy? Janikowski sounds white.
Listen, if that's a black dude, we got bigger problems. And finally on this this I don't know, this is not like that funny, but it's just the way that it's written. This guy Adam Pac-Man Jones, who is one of the faster guys in the league. Let me just read you the writing here.
Okay.
Jones worked hard to make this list. His crimes largely involved, but are not limited to, activities taking place around strip clubs. He has beat up strippers, bodyguards, quote, his own, and other patrons of the club. The most intense of his strip club incidents ended in a gunfight that left one man paralyzed.
Wow.
And I always love these sites that use like the funniest photo.
Is that his mugshot?
I actually don't know if that is. That'd be funny.
It looks like a mugshot. That's great if it is.
Yeah. So that's the research I did. Ray
that was
Lewis,
great.
OJ, Aaron Hernandez. Oh yeah, Kellen Winslow, famous tight end. Rape of 5 women.
Ooh.
Rape of an unconscious person.
I think if they're unconscious, it doesn't matter what they were wearing. Just my opinion.
Doesn't matter at all what they're wearing. What kind of justice are we doing here? What kind of true crime is this? Yo, thank you guys so much for the subs. We've picked up about 10 during the show.
Do we need to do? Oh, hold on a second.
Problem. I now owe 17 milk bones. What do we do?
I'm going to give them some milk bones because not only that, you got some subs, but that will shut Ava up. She's a terrorist. She punched me in the face yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, just to respond to what Mr. Zed and a couple people have said about like the politics of the football. Yeah, like we forgot about the greatest crime, how gay the NFL is now. like the greatest crime the Super Bowl ever committed was how gay it got. Are the commercials even good anymore? I felt that the commercials,
they kind of fell off.
Like they were good maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. I think the commercials kind of fell off.
Now. Yeah, here's the thing. If you exclude like the companionship and the food, the stuff you're in the room with, like let's exclude that. Really, the Super Bowl has always been about 3 things: the game, the commercials, and the halftime show.
Yeah,
and all 3 of them suck now. I would say maybe the best one is the actual. Well, no, I'll say there's a 4th one. Inside of the game, there's like the politics that they push, and it seems to me the only one that's still okay is like the play of the game. Everything else is kind of
like, how long ago was that halftime show that had like Snoop and Dre? That was a good halftime show, in my opinion.
I don't know when that one was.
That was maybe a couple years ago.
I checked out for a while. I missed about 5 of them. I think
like Eminem was there. I think 50 Cent was hanging upside down. I thought that was a good halftime show. But you got to do on your music channel where you go through all the halftime shows.
The greatest one of all time, because it was an intangible. Greatest one of all time was Creed 4 months after 9/11. If
I don't
you guys
remember
want to
that
go
one.
back and watch, that is the greatest halftime show ever because of what it meant, and it was kind of the last time we were a real country.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
Creed post 9/11 was amazing.
I remember how close everyone was after 9/11. Nobody cared about sides or anything. We were just all on the same team.
I was not old enough or mature enough to I didn't even notice that. I was
Yeah.
like, cool, we get a week off school.
Oh.
So bad. I mean, I'm not proud of that, but
I gotta stop Kfar does this to me all the time where I'll mention something and because he's about your age, I think, and he doesn't remember he doesn't remember anything.
ask him how it ask him how it feels being so over, having your life be so over. Okay. Anyway.
All right, let me share my screen. I have this one.
Finish your thought. You didn't finish it.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Oh, gee, I'm not trying to interrupt to cut you off. It's just an interject joke.
I know. Oh, I was just saying that the country was really united. Like, I have some old people in my chat. Do you guys remember how united the country was after 9/11? Let me know. Seriously.
I've never heard of this guy, Jalen Carter Bonds. They're always with the three names.
Yeah. This is the one I was talking about, the street racing, I believe.
The joke just goes right over your head.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jalen Carter Bonds out of jail. And I just play the clip. Play the clip.
Is Carter Bond somebody that I
smart
should
ones in the crowd understood the joke. Just
I
play.
don't understand it.
People that yeah.
Look, I never claimed to be smart. I never claimed it.
No, I know, but also I'm not funny, so it goes both ways.
This afternoon in the case of UGA football star Jalen Carter, who faces charges in connection to a deadly January car crash. Carter turned himself in and bonded out of jail just minutes later. And just hours ago, we obtained his mugshot. Fox 5's Brittany Edney live from Barnett Shoals Road in Athens, where that fatal crash happened. So, Brittany, what's the latest on the case?
Well, Christine, I spoke to the district attorney, and she told me that she is not considering higher charges for Carter. This after police say that alcohol, speed, racing, and excessive speed were contributing factors to a UGA staffer leaving this roadway and then crashing her vehicle into the corner of this apartment building. Former UGA football standout Jalen Carter faces multiple misdemeanor charges in connection to the January 15th fatal car crash that killed his teammate Devin Willock, recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix.
We don't pause segments for $2. We pause segments for $50. We'll get it after the segment.
And injured two others. A warrant for his arrest shows he's been charged with reckless driving and racing. Former Clayton County Solicitor General and attorney Keith Martin explains the maximum sentencing Carter faces if convicted.
He would face 24 months in jail and $2,000 in fines. Okay. There would be necessarily points on his driver's license, but I do not believe that it would result in a suspension.
And other possibilities tied to a conviction.
Any part or period of that could be probated or suspended.
Yo,
Carter was booked here at the Athens Clark County.
Yes.
Yo, people in society gotta stop using not Roman numerals. Stop saying Super Bowl 54. I have no idea what year that is. Say the year. like we're up to like 60 and everyone's like LXI. It's like, nigga, you don't know that shit. Like you do not know what that like. So like people are like Michael Jackson 36. I'm like, they're like ZZ Top 41. You can press play.
Well, we have it paused. The reason why I pulled this one up is because this guy, this happened when he was at UGA, but he's playing in the Super Bowl in a couple hours. So
we're on your channel. I'm saying the N-word.
Yeah, you are. Did you notice the look on my face?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay, because we got a $2 super chat because Sasha wants to see the doggos get a treat. Thank you so much, Might Be Wrong, and Sasha. I appreciate it. There's one for Zena. And here's one for the terrorist that punched me in the face yesterday.
Dude,
I don't know if you can see it because I put makeup over it, but my whole like nose and lip is scratched, like it was bleeding.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yeah. It's like there's a paw swipe that starts about here and goes all the way down, like it curved around.
Yeah, that was yeah. for selfish reasons, kind of wish I would have seen that, but that
You saw the direct app. I was like patching up my face when you came upstairs from the Dave Cave.
Jeez. Gronk. So we have a problem here. I owe the dogs 18 milk bones.
I can't give them 18 milk bones all at one time.
How do we do that?
I
Because I made a promise.
All right. I'm going to give them 2 more now.
Ava, so she has good camera technique.
She does. She does.
Look at that.
Zena's kind of over it. Oh, I dropped it. There you go, Zena.
That's right. Ava's just following orders.
Exactly. Get in your spot, Ava. Just following orders. What I do is when Ava's laying there, I just balance a milk bone like right on the camera, and then she'll just stare deep into everyone's soul.
Dang, look at that.
I'm giving away my tricks. All right, let's see. Yeah, so this guy plays for the Eagles, I think, now. So that's why I pulled this one up, even though it happened when he was at UGA.
County jail Wednesday night at 11:25 and then quickly released on a $4,000 bond in less than 25 minutes. Athens Clarke County police records provide insight into Carter's driving history. He was ticketed for speeding in September for going 89 in a 45-mile-per-hour zone and then for window tinting in October. Carter tweeted a statement in response to the charges that states in part, quote, "There was no question in my mind that when all of the facts are known that I will be fully exonerated of any criminal wrongdoing." Carter's next court appearance is going to be on April 18th. And coming up in the next hour, hear why one attorney says that these
Dang it. They went light on him because he was a UGA player, you know. So
charges
that's how that one turned out. And he ended up getting drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles and is playing later today.
Yeah, he's the quarterback, right?
I don't know. The only reason I even knew of that one is because I was watching like the pregame, you know, it's on like all day or whatever. So we had it on in the living room and they were, you know, they do the features of the sob stories of these people. It was part of a sob story. I'm like, oh, I should pull that one up. You know, man, they're going to get fat today. Thank you so much for renewing your membership. Screwed Up Texas. I appreciate it. There's this one who's violent now, apparently. Thank you so much. How much more time do we have? A few more minutes?
Yeah, 15.
Elvin Kamara. Arrest report details. Brutal beating in Las Vegas nightclub. How many of these guys are in a club? Was it a football player that like shot himself in a club in Atlanta?
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's the one I forgot about. Thank you for Plaxico Burris.
Yeah,
bro. I think he had it in. He was rocking like some loose sweatpants, and he had it
with no holster.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about the Plaxico thing. So he got charged with what was it? It was a gun charge, but also
it was just like firing inside of
himself. It was like like a battery, but against yourself.
It was like, I think the main charge or the big charge was firing a gun inside of a business or something like that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
What you know?
Let's see about this guy in the Las Vegas nightclub just beating up people. It's the violence. It's a violent sport, right?
What do you do in a club like that? You ever been to like a club like that?
I once, and it's only because I had a friend whose uncle owned a club in Chicago, and so we could cut the line and just get in. I would never stand. You know, this is the type of club that had like the girls with no clothes on, like standing outside in the Chicago cold trying to get in. Not my scene.
Yeah.
But we were able to just like go in, and it was funny because my group of friends were always wearing like oversized t-shirts and jeans and stuff, and these women in this line who were standing there all night were so mad that we got let in looking like hippies basically.
Yeah.
But
so the reason he shot the gun is because the only thing you can hear in those clubs.
Yeah,
he's trying to get noticed because you know the meme where it's like the guy screaming into the girl's ear in the club, and he's like, and she's like,
yeah,
he's like that, but with a gun pointed there, like trying to, I don't know.
An NFL player arrested. New Orleans running back Alvin Kamara taken into custody on battery charges after Sunday's Pro Bowl.
Now, the victim in this case is now out of the hospital. Victoria Saha has a look into the events that led up to Kamara's arrest.
The victim, who was identified as Darnell Green, talked to police from his hospital bed at Sunrise Hospital around 6 p.m. Saturday evening. According to an arrest report, Green told police that he was leaving Dre's nightclub on the Strip around 6:30 Saturday morning. As he was stepping onto the elevator with a large group next to him, a man later identified as Alvin Kamara put his hand on Green's chest, stopping him from walking onto the elevator. Green then pushed Kamara's hand off. Green tells police he was hit and kicked by multiple people. Green was able to remember Kamara's involvement by his looks and the clothing he was wearing. Police say security footage supports Green's accusations. On Sunday, Kamara played in the 2022 Pro Bowl at Allegiant Stadium, where he was arrested after the game. The arrest report says Kamara was interviewed by police at the stadium, and he tells police he saw a fight break out and saw Green get punched. Police say Kamara told them he punched Green several times because he thought he did something to the group and he was trying to run away. But the report says surveillance video showed Green was not running away and had just been punched by one of Kamara's friends, and Kamara immediately attacked him. Green suffered an eye injury but has since been discharged from Sunrise Hospital. Victoria Saha, live, local, now.
It's the violence, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the violence.
Yeah.
What else do I have?
Is it always the violence?
It is. It's like that. Who gets into a little scuffle at a nightclub and ends up this guy was in the hospital the next day. Like, it wasn't like he went to the ER and got let out in a couple of hours, you know? He was admitted to a hospital. Like, he had to really do some damage for that to happen, I would assume.
It's hard to stop something once you get it going. I mean, like, that part is like, I feel more for, I don't know. It's like, indifference, like getting in an argument is hard to stop, like anything's hard to stop. So if the circumstances are different, you think that you're just gonna get in a fight with a dude in a club and then just stop because cooler heads prevail.
Well, it sounded like they got into a fight over who got into the elevator first. Is that what I was hearing? That's what it sounded like to me. That's a crazy thing to get into a fight over, right?
Yeah, I mean, or then a shoe gets stepped on, or
yeah,
alcohol involved. Probably some,
I don't know. But this is the type of person that would then get CTE and go on and murder a family of 6. So,
dude, I'm saying that the CTE has nothing to do with it. It's that, you think it's like, go no people like it's like I don't know. I mean, most mass murderers in history also did not have CTE. So, like,
well, here's what I'm wondering though, because boxers get CTE as well. Is there as many, like, proportionally, like, per capita for boxers as football players? Is it more football players than boxers that commit crimes like this? I haven't looked into boxers, so I don't know the answer to that. No. It's just a question that popped in my head.
No, I don't know the percentage, but
you don't hear about it as much, right?
Their job is violent. Their job would be a crime outside of the ring. So it's like, you know what I mean? I guess football would be too.
Yeah. You can't just go around tackling people on the street. Or can you? I'm not sure. Let's see what ex-Raiders Henry Ruggs is remaining on house arrest for.
Well, the judge said that the rules of the court says that she cannot revoke his bail. She can only increase it or maybe even hold him in contempt, which would send him back to jail for a few days. She decided not to do any of that and say that he can stay on house arrest until his next court date. On Monday, former Raider Henry Ruggs faced a judge to discuss a violation of his release conditions.
He has been fully compliant. He has now completed 77 tests.
Earlier this month,
Jive Show Bob.
This is pretty good. Oh, my studio lights just turned out by themselves. Jive Show Bob,
yep.
Ruggs was released on a $150,000 bail after a DUI crash that killed 23-year-old Tina Tintor. One of the conditions of his release was 4 random alcohol tests throughout the day. On November 13th, the day of the missed test, the grandmother of Ruggs' child and a teacher were with him at his home.
3 people, including Henry, attest they did not hear the alert.
Chesnoff went on to say neither of them saw Ruggs consume any alcohol and that Ruggs tested negative shortly after. Chesnoff says the missed notification could be because the company in charge of the monitoring sent notifications to Ruggs' old phone that is in Metro.
Did he say what he was in or on probation for originally? Am I missing that? I don't know either. Let's see if they tell us.
Custody instead of the new number he gave them.
There was no errors from cellular or otherwise. The device gave as it should normally.
Jennifer Rangel with Scram, the alcohol monitoring company, says while Ruggs missed the test, he has been fully compliant otherwise.
He's actually taken 9 separate tests that are self-initiated over and above what his 4 random tests have been per day.
If everybody that was on Scram was as compliant as Mr. Ruggs, it would make the job a lot easier, wouldn't it?
It would.
Now, as of Friday, Ruggs is now wearing a ankle monitor that monitors any type of alcohol use, and that is going to take place of the 4 breathalyzer tests that he was taking per day. Now, the judge does stress to him that it's very important for him to make sure that if there's any information that changes, such as his phone number or any type of movements, it is his responsibility to let everybody that needs to know about that. She says that any further issues would be very problematic for him. His next court date is set for December 8th. I'll send it back to you.
All right, I have no idea what he was in jail for originally.
So they got an ankle monitor that reads alcohol now?
I believe they do.
Wow. It like reads your skin?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let me just address the 5 gifted memberships from Bandit. Thank you so much, Bandit. I appreciate it. Hopefully the new people who just received memberships enjoys them. I'll let you guys know when we're doing a game night again. In the meantime, let's get these dogs some milk bones. Wake up. Zena, this is literally your job. You got to be awake for it. How do you think we pay for the milk bones? Thank you, Bandit. I appreciate it. This one. Okay, so I watched the full video of this, which we won't watch. I just have a 2-minute clip of it because it's like 17 minutes long or whatever. But this guy's just riding around with a gun without a holster just in his lap. I'm really surprised that this guy didn't get shot by the police because you can't get pulled over and have a gun just in your lap. That's crazy. That's like you're wishing to commit suicide by cop when you do that, right?
Some of them are. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah.
Get back! Get the away! Grab it! Don't you move! Don't you move, dude! Don't you move! Don't move!
All right, I got it.
Get out! Get on the driver's side! Okay, I got my seatbelt on. Take your seatbelt off.
The not turning music down when this is happening too really bothers me. I see this a lot with body cam videos. When you're getting pulled over by the police, turn your music down. It's just really rude. You know, if somebody's coming up to you and trying to talk to you, no matter who it is, turn your music down.
I'm mid-verse, though. I'm like, I got my pistol point shot. Rain in shots nonstop until I see your monkey ass drop. And let your homies know who done it. Right. I can't talk to my mother, so I talk to my diary.
Wow.
I'm like, he's like, sir. Sir. I'm mid-verse. Yo,
take it off. Slowly take it off.
What did you say?
Yo, Daryl Brooks got raped in prison.
What?
Yeah, he just got moved.
What?
From South.
Breaking news on the KTZ Crime Channel.
He got transferred to prison in to Colorado because
is he going to the same place that Uncle Ted lives?
Raped and beaten
or lived?
Oh, yo.
I wonder. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him in that maximum security prison in Colorado for like really bad people.
One that's like under the world.
Yeah. Like where all of like the Oklahoma City guys and Ted Kaczynski, like all those guys were in that same prison.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this guy get almost killed.
Head out slowly. Watch the crossfire. Come back in here. Come back in here. Slowly step out of the car. Stay back.
Do you have a license?
Yes, sir.
Where's the license?
In the car.
why in the hell would you have that gun in your hand and the cops standing right in front of you? What would you be thinking?
Yes, sir. I was
I
trying
saw
to.
you reach for it. I knew something.
No, I wasn't reaching for it. I had it in. I was putting it away. I already had it in my hand.
In your lap.
Yes, I was putting it
Why
away.
would you have it in your lap when you're right up next to some other dudes? A cop's walking up and you have it in your hand?
No, that's what I'm saying. I was putting it away because I know those guys. That's what I'm saying.
91% of the time, what would have happened tonight?
I would have got. I know it. I understand.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
that. Bad me, bad you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what we got right now, at the very least, is improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle. Permit or not, man. I mean, you can't have it in your lap. There's no reason. And you're holding it in your hand when I walk up to you.
Yeah, and that's why I was trying to put it away. So
But why was it out? Why was it out in this party?
It wasn't. I put it on the. It was on the floor of my slingshot. I mean, I didn't have it.
You left it on the floor of your slingshot out here in the parking lot?
It was under the seat.
Yeah, but it's everyone can just get in there, right? Like, so why the car is unattended? You know where I'm coming from.
Yes, sir.
I know you had a permit, but that doesn't absolve you. Just like it wouldn't for me as a cop. I can tell you right now, when I get pulled over by the police, my hand is nowhere near my gun.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
off duty, nowhere near it.
Yes, sir.
This guy didn't do shit. I mean, like, I'm saying in the American system. I'm not saying my system, but like the cop is in the wrong. Like, he's trying to do extra legal reasoning. Like, he's trying to argue common sense with this guy.
He is trying to. I think he's trying to help him not get killed by the police.
Then I would say I like that then.
Yeah.
If that's the reason for it, then I retract what I'm saying. But I'm saying he's going to, like, a cop's job is not common sense. The cop's job is the law. So if he's trying to help, cool. But I thought he was, like, trying to reason with, like, who does that? Like, none of your business. Within the law, it's like none of your business.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have a gun on my floor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just maybe
I
just
mean-
trying to, like, help for the next time, like you said.
Yeah, I think he's just like, you have a convertible with a gun just there, and you're away from your car unattended. Like, you can't just leave your gun laying around.
Oh, it was a convertible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just open.
Well, I'm just saying then just, like, charge the dude and
Yeah, I think he's just trying to help him not get shot by the cops. Like, just use common sense. And I think the football player in the back of this car, it seems to be receptive to it, which
This guy?
is yeah. He's
Seems
like,
like
yeah, I know, you know, I messed up, which is good.
Mhm.
See, there's always hope for redemption, even with NFL players.
And cited on the resting certificate, it says because the party was lit, sir.
Did you just do the Barack Obama voice for that?
Lit party.
You did.
I wrong. Lit party. Couldn't help it.
Oh man. All right, I think we can just wrap it up there. We're close.
Go Lions.
The
Do you
Lions.
care? Do you like? Are you even watching the Super Bowl?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't care.
Trail off was funny. Yeah.
Well, like, I found the channel that we can watch it or whatever. You know, we don't have like regular TV or whatever. So I found where we can watch it. It is on in the living room right now. You know, I made some dip earlier, so we'll eat that.
I wish I could have that. I wish I was there to have the. Is it 7-layer?
It is not 7-layer, just spinach dip. Very delicious. I'm making some kielbasa's, and
I guess you can't really argue how many layers a spinach dip has. I mean, I guess you have 2, right? You have like the cheese on top, and then you have the dip.
yeah, yeah,
So it's 2-layer dip.
2 layers. 7-layer dip sounds delicious right now. Why did you have to bring that up? I have no 7-layer dip.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Zed, okay, because I didn't know what he was talking about. Dude, I literally thought he said I pictured like a gun in a the vehicle he's driving is called a slingshot. It's a 3-wheeled car that is not enclosed. Okay, thanks. I was like,
Yeah.
idiot.
So it's like a trike, but the back, like the 2 wheels are on front. I think that's what it is. Somebody will let me know if I'm wrong.
Didn't know what that was called. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
We got almost halfway through all the tabs, so that's good. But the talking is the most fun part of this show. So
Yeah, I can't believe you're trying to play like a 5-minute clip when there's words to be had.
I know. Well, I figured some people might not know this, like the details of Aaron Hernandez, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
like Some of these stories, there could be a whole episode, like the guy that you brought up with the People's Temple, whatever, the cult guy. That could be a whole episode. Aaron Hernandez could be a OJ whole episode. You know?
OJ could be for sure, and
a series.
Yeah, and you could honestly do sports for a couple months and never run out, because you could do Oscar Pistorius. You could do. There's so many.
I would have to get a rope and hang myself if I was doing that for
why
months at a time.
Oh,
Because it's sports.
I thought you meant specifically Oscar Pistorius.
No, like just
disabled. He's not like being mean to you.
turning my channel into a sports crime channel seems
That's
you
very
know,
niche.
I almost didn't care enough about football to do this show today, but I know a lot of people are into the football, so
It seems that like just on pure probability, the more niche you go, the higher probability of having success.
You think so?
Yeah, but I mean more niche than even something like true crime. I'm saying like sports crime in the 90s. Like because all we've talked about this before, all you need is like 10,000 people. All you need is like 10,000 fans. And so are there 10,000 people in that niche in the world? Maybe, but it's like because there's only one 90s sports crime show.
Yeah.
And
True.
We just did it.
Yeah, this was it. This was the one. We'll do another one next Super Bowl Sunday.
I don't think we will.
I think I will.
Will you? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. I have like 6 or 7 tabs left. And I'm sure there'll be new ones by then, right?
What's the most interesting one? Let's do rapid fire.
All right, rapid fire. This is arrest warrant issued for NFL wide receiver. Oh no, that's the one we just watched. This is 2.5 minutes. Body camera footage shows former NFL player arrested for luggage theft at the airport. Let me share my screen.
I just don't. Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand the luggage theft thing.
That's crazy.
Remember there was that like politician or something that got arrested for stealing suitcases at an airport. Do you remember that? He was like a drag queen or something, and he was a politician, and he stole.
Yeah, this is basically the most hideous person ever.
I don't remember what his name was or her.
I don't know.
But,
Yeah, he's the bald guy that.
Yeah.
Disgusting person.
I watched a body cam video the other day of somebody stole a box from an airport.
You ever seen that one where there's there's like homo on huge heels trying to get away from the cops?
No, that does seem like something you'd cover on your show, though.
It's just like this person gets like erased from this plane of existence. Like all of a sudden they're here, and then they're like 4 feet lower to the ground. There's like so.
My studio lights are giving up too, so let's watch a couple more.
Has obtained body cam footage of the arrest of a former NFL player. Damian Parms once played for the Carolina Panthers and was signed by the Atlanta Falcons. He now faces theft charges after police say that he rifled through luggage at Hartsfield-Jackson.
A former prosecutor tells Fox 5's More Stiggs the circumstances surrounding the alleged theft are bizarre.
Former pro player Damian Parms was a DB. He played defensive back in the NFL. A big play is to intercept the football. But police say he allegedly intercepted someone else's luggage.
I hate the media. I hate that whole setup they just did. What was up with that? Somebody throw me the ball. It'll be cute. What are we doing? Just report the news, dude. Sorry.
That's just organic. That's just what happens when I'm talking in an airport. It's like, yo, someone, and then they do the point, like the fake point. It's like, no. Hey.
It happens. Bags are snatched from the carousels at the airport.
And these segments are here.
Green bag look just like my bag.
One alleged thief had investigators shaking their heads.
I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
Officers questioned former NFL pro Damian Parms. As others were heading to relatives for Thanksgiving, police say Parms, who was a second-tier backup player, including a brief stint for the Falcons and a couple of other teams, allegedly picked up someone else's luggage from Carousel 8 on the south side and took it to another area to search the contents. He allegedly pulled out a phone charger and carried all the other contents to the opposite side to leave the bag on a different carousel, then left the
He's
facility.
trying to say he thought it was his bag and he stole a phone charger out of it and then put the bag back. Like, really?
Maybe you guys just share the same values. Maybe his phone was at like 35% and he desperately needed a charge now, or he's going to freak out, you know?
Charge your phone. You should have your phone charging right now.
That's a bizarre set of facts I've never seen.
Attorney Keith Martin has seen plenty. He used to be a Clayton County solicitor prosecuting airport cases.
Explicably commit thefts at the airport. One was a surgeon. One was a very close relative of a ranking chief officer in a police department nearby. There are those that had lots of money that would not have taken telephones or watches or things like that did at Hartsfield.
As for Mr. Parms, 2.5 hours after he was inside the airport, police say he came back, seen in the luggage area.
Where'd you fly today? Okay, so you had no meeting, you coming to a carousel.
Came back.
So how did Mr. Parms get back and forth to the airport? Well, he didn't take one of those fancy baller automobiles you see on reality shows. He took MARTA. By the way, that's a pretty common tactic among luggage thieves out here at the airport. I'm Morse Diggs, Fox 5 News.
Thanks, Morse Diggs. I appreciate the report. I have a really short one, but I want to stay in the airport. I'm going to stay in the airport because here we go. Since we're already in the airport, this one's crazy.
I keep hearing about an airport. I'm waiting. Just kidding.
It's a video from Newark Airport. Police are now investigating a disturbing video showing a violent altercation involving a former NFL player and an airline worker, and what we've now learned about the United employee tonight. Here's ABC's Will Reeve.
Tonight, United Airlines telling ABC News it fired this employee at Newark Airport after investigating and reviewing viral video showing him fighting a passenger, former NFL player Brendan Langley. Sources tonight telling ABC News it all started when that employee asked for a wheelchair that Langley was using to carry his luggage. The situation quickly escalating, the two exchanging blows. At one point, Langley knocking the agent over, but the employee gets up and continues to fight. Langley tonight charged with simple assault. The professional football team he plays for in Canada releasing a statement today saying the team is currently looking into the matter in order to learn the full details and will have no further comment until the investigation is complete. Tonight, ABC News has learned that Langley is back in Canada, and it's unclear if the airport worker will face any charges. David.
All right, we'll
send him back. I have the full video. It's 3.5 minutes if you want to watch the full fight.
Send him back where?
To Canada.
That's where he's from?
He's Canadian, yeah.
Didn't look Canadian.
Do you want to watch this full fight?
Just kidding. Just being racist.
You know you do.
I do.
It's like a slap fight guy from yesterday, falling down and popping back up.
I feel like that worker is like either drunk or high or something's up there.
Maybe he used to play football and he's got CTE.
I don't know. I mean, like, you just don't have your hands up, and then you against a taller guy, and then you come back after getting like blasted.
He's bloody, yeah.
And his hands aren't even up. I just feel like he's on drug. Again, I mean, it's very hard to not go rational mode when you're just like in a room, like I'm just chilling. But I don't know. He doesn't have his hands up. He's just like, hit me, hit me again. Like I just, it's like a level of I don't know, self-preservation is not set in, and that's
maybe he's having a bad day. Got into a fight with the wife. You know, he just doesn't care what happens to him.
Sing a sad song and going. They did a song about that, right? I had a bad day.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a song.
Also, That football player,
Sorry, say that again.
they both should be in trouble. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, the employee was fired, and we sent the other guy to Canada, which is a punishment, in my opinion.
Now, Africa. Send them all back to Africa. Nice dodge. Not.
Yeah, he doesn't have his hands up at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not like it's just anti-survival.
Yeah. But also imagine using somebody else's wheelchair for your luggage and then saying, "Hey, can we get that wheelchair back for the disabled people?" Getting into a violent altercation over it and not just giving the wheelchair back. That's crazy to me too.
Yeah.
I think maybe it just goes in slow motion from here out.
Well, you didn't slow that down. I thought that was
No.
going to be funny.
No, this is just
Yeah.
yeah, they're just replaying it in slow motion. So that's it. That's the whole video.
Mm.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Life's complicated. I just feel like I do think that if some form of consensual combat were brought back in a way, a lot of the stuff like that specifically. I don't mean like the killing 8 people in certain like I don't know, like that is the closest one I've seen today that was like 2 guys that just wanted to fight.
Yeah.
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 It would be nice if those guys could at some point but like the problem is emotions, and like you would need people to separate them right then and do it later so business could continue in the airport, you know.
You
So
can't do it at the airport.
yeah, what I'm
man.
saying does not even work it doesn't work at all in the moment. It has to be 2 gentlemen agreeing to do it later, and these guys aren't gentlemen, so it just doesn't work at all. Yep.
I agree.
Welp.
Slaps knee.
Guys want to do the Midwest goodbye?
Yes.
And then you talk for 5 more minutes.
I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl. And if you're into that sort of thing, and hopefully there's good commercials. Probably not.
If you're into that sort of thing, huh?
If you're into sports, I guess. Do you know who's doing the halftime show?
Kendrick Lamar.
Do I know any of his music? Maybe. I've heard of his name. I don't know if I know.
Kendrick Lamar is probably the least catchy rapper of all time. Like even his big hits, they're so unmemorable. Like that, you know. I know a couple of the songs because I played them in bands and stuff like that. So, you know, you learn a song, you learn its name. But I've always thought that about Kendrick. It's like not one. I don't remember one hook of his, or he's just not catchy. So
why is he famous? Industry plant?
it's complicated. Or just like famous for being who they are at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know why they get discovered by a person who's famous for being who they are, and then they become the next person who's famous for being who they are.
Does he have like a good personality or anything?
Yeah, his face is better, but
okay. I mean, okay. Got to have a little of everything, right?
Please make sure, speaking of a little bit of everything, if you want some non-true crime content, over to
what would you say your channel's about?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like news and philosophy. Honestly,
Yeah.
like if I'm being like serious about what it's like, news and philosophy and comedy. Yeah.
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 I would agree with that.
Yeah. Like if you're being really general, but if you're being even more general, it's like me trying to figure out my life on air.
True.
God, music, family, eventually. But
Yeah. You live
you're
stream
gonna get it or you don't. So if you guys want to try something new, just get in the chat and see if you like it.
noon on Thursdays.
Correctamundo.
All right. Well, you never know. It could have changed since the last time I checked. Noon on Thursdays. Tune in noon Eastern on Thursdays, or noon Central. You're in Central time. You moved to Nashville recently.
Noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern.
Yeah.
And
I'm on Central, but I'm gonna just keep saying Eastern because it's easier.
yeah,
I just
it's
know that it's 11 a.m. Central.
way easier for me.
Mhm.
And I guess we should just plug Patriot Jam a little bit since we're both here and we're on a show, right? So Steven and I, mainly him, I just help, had planned a music festival last year, and the second annual one is coming up on July 26th, and it's in Nashville, and it's going to be a good time, and there'll be more information to come. But if you want to meet either him or I in person, getting tickets to Patriot Jam would be a way to do that. That's all I'm saying.
If you go over to Patriot Jam Fest over there on Twitter, that's cool. But I also linked the YouTube channel. So if you can't make it in person, Patriot Jam will be streamed on all the platforms.
Yeah.
Be at this one because we're on YouTube right now. But yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, the stream from last year is up there. So
you're right. Yeah, it's weird because I understand that implicitly you can figure out that we're both going to be there and you can meet us, but I usually don't say that until about a week out.
Oh,
people can make plans.
Like to murder me?
Yeah.
If I get murdered at Patriot Jam, will you cover it on my
we discovered, yeah.
Covered on my channel?
No, I don't do true crime.
Come on. Come on.
No. Okay. If you make an exception, for stuff like that, they'll just walk all over you. Of course, I'll cover it.
Yeah, you're right. I should probably stop saying that. Anyway, enjoy the Super Bowl, guys, and we will see you Wednesday at 8:00 for Booze and Body Cams, unless Kfar and I might pop in early for a live stream. We don't know what's going to happen. We were talking about it last night. So, but definitely 8:00 on Wednesday for Booze and Body Cams. That's next time I'll see you, and Steven at noon on Thursday. All right, bye, guys. Hold on, I got to press the buttons.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you so loco? Show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies. Them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.